Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Go ahead, put your questions in the comments. It can be anything that's immigration related. It does not have to be just about the topic I'm going to talk about. I'm good. Today's going to be a relatively short live. So go ahead, just put those questions in quickly right now. I'm just going to say my piece quickly and then get to your questions as soon as possible. Now, I am going to ask you this question. Did an employer promise you a work permit, and are you here in the United States working for that employer right now, but you haven't seen that work permit yet? That's usually the first red flag that I see when I am working with some labor trafficking clients, right? Clients that have been through labor trafficking. Not all of them get promised a work permit, but sometimes this is the way that the employer recruits my client, is by promising them to get them the work permit. But they have a condition. They usually start with the client has to work for them first. That is not, if an employer is saying that they're going to get you your papers, but you have to work for them first, then chances are that employer is committing fraud against you, because under immigration law there is no type of work permit that you can get by first working for the employer without the work permit. If you do that, you will not be able to apply for adjustment of status in the United States, and they certainly will not approve a work permit just based on you working for this employer. So that's the first red flag here. Now, I'm going to tell you a common scenario. Usually, the individual is here. They're here without their papers. They may be already overstayed, or they're here with their visa, visitor's visa, or another type of visa. And the employer then tells them to come work for me, and I will go ahead and get you your work permit. But when you do, they often make great promises that sound too good to be true. Some of the common areas where I see this happening is group homes, assisted living facilities, the trucking industry, even in nursing, right? Where if they're promising to get you your nursing license or anything like that, you need to be wary, because they could be this could be the beginning of labor trafficking. So they make all these great promises that you're going to they're going to train you, they're going to certify you, you're going to get your work permit for a number of years. They may say things like, if you work for them for a certain number of years, they'll get you the work permit. That is false. That's fraud. You can't work for an employer for a certain number of years in order to get the work permit. You always have to get a work visa or your work permit before you start to work for the employer. Then when you get into this job is where they have you where they want you. So now they don't mention the work permit, or they threaten you, or they start to get mad at you if you start to ask about your papers or work permit. Maybe they go ahead and they start to abuse you. They overwork you. Maybe you actually have to live in the facility where you're working, so you find yourself working 24/7. Then they start to withdraw money out of your pay. They withdraw money for maybe your background check. They withdraw money for your uniform. They withdraw money for anything you've misplaced at the workplace. They withdraw money for food that they're giving you. They withdraw money for living expenses for you to live at the facility where you're also working 24/7. If you're experiencing things like this, in addition to that, you are having a fear of leaving because, one, maybe they have hinted to you, or based on their behavior towards you, you feel afraid of them. You feel like they're going to report you to ICE. They have said straight up told you that if you don't do this or do that, you're out on the street, or they're going to go ahead and call ICE on you. These are examples of what labor trafficking looks like. So if you're in any type of employment situation where you're experiencing these types of situations from the beginning, where they recruit you to now where you're in a situation where you feel like you can't leave, you're being underpaid, overworked, and their behavior towards you makes you afraid to leave, give me a call. And this can even be something that happened in the past, by the way. This doesn't have to currently be happening. If you experienced this 20 years ago, then there is what's called a T visa that allows you to get a work permit for 4 years, and then get the option to apply for permanent residence after approval of the T visa. So give me a call. We can talk through your situation and then get started to get you the immigration relief you need to move forward with your life. Now, let me go ahead and answer some questions. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, go ahead. You'll see the number on YouTube, on the screen, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, on Instagram. Go to the link in the profile. Also, on my videos, you'll always see the phone number. You can go ahead and, or in the caption, you'll see the phone number and the link. So use that to get in touch with me, so we can talk through what you're going through and determine whether this is going to be the best option for you. And by the way, not only you qualify, but your relatives can qualify too. So your spouse, if you're under 21, your sibling who's under 18, and your parent and your children who are under 21 and unmarried. So get in touch with me and we can talk. Now, questions. Let's go. Let's see. Just bear with me as I go through your questions. Um, Are the document submission fees going up soon? So I think this may be, now fees are going up soon. So we could see this happening later on this year. They have to implement it first. Now, if you're talking about the NVC, National Visa Center fees, they haven't said anything about the National Visa Center fees going up. But, where one agency, especially in regards to immigration, is starting to raise their fees, we may see the same thing happening at the Department of State as well. So get those papers in. If you're on a work permit, can your child get a visa based on that? No, not on the work permit. No, what with the visitor's visa, what they are, and some. Well, let me change. Work permit is different from a work visa. If you have an employment-based visa, your children may be able to go with you with some types of visas. If you have the work permit, that's usually if you're here applying for adjustment of status or some other immigration relief, like the T visa that I just talked about. Can your children get a visa based on that? In regards to the T visa, yes, they can get a T visa if you get your work permit associated with the T visa. However, just having a work permit alone is not going to be able to get your children the visa. So, it just depends. Sister applied for 485 AOS and it's approved, and they asked for additional docs and we submitted. But since then, haven't received anything. It's been 7 months, so get in touch with them, just to see, make sure everything is going well with your case, or talk to your attorney. I'm a permanent resident and I-130, so I see a permanent resident, but I didn't see anything else. If you're on H-2B, is there a way your child can get a visitor's visa based on that? So no, if the H-2B alone is not going to get your child the visa. Good morning. I'm a permanent resident and I filed for my wife 10 months ago. I haven't gotten notification from USCIS of approval or denial as of yet. Should I be worried? It's taking about a year to get those decisions. So you may have a little bit left to go. Just contact them to make sure everything is going good with your case and that they don't need anything from you. Can I get a visiting visa from Jamaica to US? You have to apply to the US Embassy in Kingston to be able to get the visa, and it's going to come down to your circumstances. The biggest thing they want to see is that you have strong ties to your home country. What about if the child have visa and the mother doesn't? well, the mother has to apply separately for the visa. All right, put those questions in the comments. I'm going to be here for a minute more. So, whatever questions you have, put it there so I can answer your questions quickly. Thanks for the love, by the way. Now, while I wait for a few more questions over the next minute, don't forget to follow, to share the lives, tell other people about this, that they can come on here and ask their general questions from a U.S. immigration attorney. Like, subscribe on YouTube because by making these videos, other people are empowered by the information on Facebook, Twitch. Make sure you follow me, share these lives so other people know about this information, and that this is a two-way street here. I share information, and you can also ask questions as well. Can attorneys escalate the case of 485 AOS? It depends on what's going on. With escalate, I don't know if you mean to expedite, to speed it up, but it's going to come down to, so for me, when I'm representing my clients, when you're submitting an expedite request, you really do have to have evidence to support the expedite request. They're not going to expedite a request just based on a request to expedite. And so, whether or not an adjustment of status application can be expedited is going to depend. Now, when you're talking about escalating, does it mean did something happen that it now needs to go to a USCIS director? It just depends on what the situation is. I don't know what the situation is. Here it says, will they give back the child his visa? It depends on what happened. Hi, good afternoon. I applied for VAW and received a prima facie letter last year in November. When will I do biometrics and get my work permit? So the biometrics can be scheduled at any time, usually around the 2 month mark. So when you're going to be scheduled, I don't know. You'll have to contact them directly, usually by mail because they don't accept emails. And the work permit is taking anywhere from 6 months to 12 months to get the work permit. And that's usually associated with the adjustment of status application. Does a person that have an ITIN number, can they apply for their green card on their own? No. Having an ITIN number alone is not going to get you the green card. It was from F1 to 485 AOS. She got baby birth and want to travel overseas, don't have travel authorization. So with that, you'd have to get the travel document, and you'd have to expedite the travel document if she applied for it. If she didn't, you'll have to apply for the travel document. How to obtain an ITIN form as an undocumented than a work permit. So you should go to a tax assistance agent, and they'll be able to assist you to get an ITIN number. All right. Thanks everyone for your time. I will be back tomorrow at around lunchtime. So join me there where we can have a two-way conversation. I'll come with my topic, you come with your questions. In the meantime, I urge you to schedule an appointment with me so we can talk about your particular situation and then get started to help you to get where you need to go in your particular process. All right. So join me tomorrow. Bye bye.